Hey guys, welcome to another MapleStory video. Today I'm making a guide video on the V-Matrix, or rather an update one, because I did make one on my old channel about a couple years back, but some people did request that I make a new one, and I am currently sitting on top of Mudo where I did the last guide video, and we're gonna do the guide video in the same place. So, in case you guys aren't aware, if there are any new players who have joined in between the previous guide and now, the V-Matrix is essentially what the 5th job is supposed to be. You get the 5th job advancement by reaching level 200 and then completing a quest line that is located in the Temple of Time, known as Call of the Urdas, and then you just gotta do all of these. They made it a lot easier for you to get the 5th job advancement because they took away all the tedium of having to complete things like Temple of Time, or training for a long period of time, or AFKing for like 24 hours. So now you can get basically 5th job pretty much instantly. You just gotta do a couple of quests, move around the Maple world, and there you go. And once you do get the V-Matrix, it is unlocked. So let's get right into it. When you click into the 5th job skill tab, you'll see a giant button that says V-Matrix and a bunch of other skills that will be located around here. You will not see these at the very beginning because you just got the V-Matrix. When you open it, it'll create this giant window with a bunch of hexagons that you can go ahead and put stuff in. So the way the V-Matrix works is that it unlocks slots based on how many levels you have on your character after level 200. I believe at base you get 5 or 3 slots for free. Then after that, every 5 levels beyond that, you get one more slot. So 205, 210, 215, 220, 225, 230, 235, 240, 245, 250, and then you can get 2 more slots, I think. Oh no, then that means you get 4 slots to start with, and then every 5 levels you get another slot. You also can unlock up to 2 more bonus slots from the V-Matrix by paying Mesos for it, and then that allows you to get 2 extra slots without having to actually be the level that you're at. So this slot would be the level 255 slot, and this is a 260 slot. There's also 265, 270, and then we have a whole bunch of other slots here. I don't know what the rest of these slots are used for, because 275 only goes up to here, and then you could get 2 more slots up to 285. This may mean that we can get level cap of 300. I don't really know. But each of these slots can house a node. There are 3 different types of nodes. We have skill nodes, boost nodes, and special nodes. So skill nodes, when you add them into your V-Matrix, they will allow you to get new skills to your character, being things like new attacking skills, new buffs, or even decent skills. Decent skills were around in MapleStory for a period of time in which your character could get them either by having nebulites back when they were around, or you can go ahead and get them as potentials for some of your equipment. Decent skills are essentially weaker versions of already existing skills that explorers have. So for instance, Holy Symbol and Advanced Blessing belong to the Priest class. Then we have Sharp Eyes, which belong to the Archers. We have Hyper Body and Combat Orders, which belong to Warriors. We also have things like Decent Haste and then Decent Speed Infusion. Haste belonging to Thieves, and then Speed Infusion belonging to Pirates. The most important ones I would say you want to go for are Combat Orders, Speed Infusion, Holy Symbol, Advanced Blessing, and Decent Sharp Eyes, because all of them except for Holy Symbol grant you combat stats that are efficient for no matter what class you're playing. And then if you are playing to train, then Decent Holy Symbol can help you out quite a bit because it gives you just a little bit of experience and drop rate as well. So if you want to use it for bossing, you can do that. By the way guys, this is the first guide I've done in a while that's not done with a script, so if I talk a little fast or if I stutter, do apologize for that. Just let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below if you need me to clarify something, and I can clarify it by text. There also will be a V-Matrix written guide, like a text guide in the description if you want to go ahead and read up on that instead of watching a video. Continuing on though, there are a few other things that you can pick up, such as things like Blink, Will of Urda, and a few other skills. Actually, let me go over to the Node Master while we're at it so I can explain to you the rest of the skill nodes. In each area of the Arcane River, up until I believe, actually no, only for the first 2 areas, in Choo Choo Island and Vanishing Journey, you'll come across an NPC known as a Node Master. This one we have Arkel, and in Choo Choo Island we have Leon. Yeah, Leon. He is a Node Master as well. Node Masters allow you to craft nodes, disenchant them to fuse and upgrade nodes together, and this is where you would do most of the stuff that you have with your V-Matrix. Some of the skill nodes that you can craft other than the decent skills I talked about before are things like you can also make Decent Mystic Door, which no one really cares about because it's just like a return scroll. Rope Lift, which is a grappling hook. If you are a Kaiser or an Angelic Buster, you will notice this skill quite well. The vertical grappling hook that shoots you all the way to the top. This is useful on almost every single class in the game. It doesn't matter what class you're playing, because having just an instant reposition to send you up flying vertically can be very helpful whether you're training or bossing or just doing anything in particular. One more thing about rope lift is that it actually halts all of your velocity in the air horizontally. Let's go back up. Then we also have things like Blink, which is just a random teleport, so it's kind of like Hana's Ethereal Shift or Evan's Dragon Blink. Urda Nova is a bind skill that binds a single enemy for up to 10 seconds, which is actually very helpful because it allows every class to have at least one kind of bind ability for bosses. We have Will of Urda, which is the same thing as Hero's Will, not really the most useful skill we have out there. Then we have Urda Shower, which is an AoE full map attack. That's pretty good. It depends on what class you're playing. Some classes like using it for just extra wave clear when training, and for some not so much. And then after that, you get your own personalized skills depending on what class you're playing. The first one you get are your common class skills. So for Thieves, we have 3, I believe. We have Shadow Walker, that can be equipped by Night Lord, Shadow, or Blade Master. You also get Venom Burst, and then you get Last Resort. So there are common job classes for each warrior, pirate, mage, thief, archer, and then you have your own personal class skills based on whichever class you're playing. So for dual blades, we have Blade Tempest, Blades of Destiny, and Blade Tornado. So you have a decent amount of active skills that you can work with. The skill nodes are very good. All of them are relatively useful. There are only like a few that aren't, like Decent Mystic Door or Will of Urda, but pretty much everything else are pretty good to have. Moving on to the second type of nodes, we have boost nodes. So what boost nodes do is that they just passively increase the skill damage of your damaging abilities. So take for example, dual blades, our main attacking skills are, let's say, Phantom Blow and Blade Fury. At base, Blade Fury does 250% damage, and if you use a hyper skill to increase that damage, you can do a little bit more. And Phantom Blow at base is 315, plus the 20% bonus damage from Reinforce, which turns it to 335. The way boost nodes work, and this is the best part of boost nodes, is that their final damage increase for the skill is multiplicative. So if you have a skill node that just says, for example, if I were to show you my Phantom Blow node, it increases the final damage of Phantom Blow by 120%. Not 120% additively, that doesn't turn 335 into 455. Instead, it increases it based on the multiplicative value of 120%. So you're essentially increasing it by 2.2 times the value of the original skill's final damage. So instead of 335, it would be something like, I don't know if I can do math off the top of my head, but let's be a bit more simple with the math and take Blade Fury, which is 250%. If you have a boost of, let's say, 100%, Blade Fury will then do 500% damage. So it's a huge, significant boost. And also, each boost node comes with a passive level component where after you get that node to a certain level or that skill to a certain level, you get a bonus property. So for instance, Phantom Blow, at level 20, you can attack one other target. And at level 40, it ignores 20% more defense. They're pretty common with like the types of boosts that you get. Other times you might get things like more critical hit rate. Let me see if I can find one. So yeah, max targets, critical hit rate. There's also, monster defense ignored. It's usually those three. You either hit more targets, you ignore more defense, or has a higher critical hit rate. Not too bad. They're pretty helpful, some of them, especially the monster defense ignored. The extra armor penetration is pretty powerful. With boost nodes, you'll notice that there are 3 skills that are included per node. These are called trios. And in the community, we have a term that we often like to call perfect trios. Perfect trios are boost nodes that have the perfect combination of your main attacking skills available in a single node. So ordinarily, every time you get a node from a boost node, which I'll show you just right now, I believe I have some. Yes. So whenever you use a node, it will have a chance to give you a random node. Sometimes it will be a boost node, sometimes it will be a skill node, and sometimes it will be a special node. Boost nodes are completely random with how you get them. There is a primary skill, which is the skill at the left or the bottom left of the trio. Or in other words, if you just look at the boost node, the skill at the very top. So these are bandage slash boost nodes, these are tornado spin boost nodes, these are fatal blow boost nodes. That's the primary skill, and then the other 2 skills after that will be randomized in any order. The perfect trios are the ones that you have that give you every single skill that you want to use for your character. So for dual blades, we have 2 of them. We have Asta's Anger, Phantom Blow, Blade Fury, and then, or we could have Phantom Blow, Asta's Anger, and Blade Ascension. Some people like using Blade Ascension for mobbing because it's just as good as Blade Fury. And other classes may have more skills that are perfect trios, and some classes may only have 1. It just mostly depends on what class you're playing and which classes use the most amount of attacking skills. Because for dual blades, we have a lot of attacking skills, but some of them, or rather a lot of them, are not very useful, at least in the late game. Fatal Blow you'll almost never use, Upper Stab you'll almost never use, Slash Storm you don't need because you have Bloody Storm, things like Blade Clone, it's helpful but not that imperative, Flashbang as well. So you want to focus on the skills that you use most frequently. Now before you ask me what are my perfect trios for X class or whatever, just take a moment to think about what you think your class uses the most in terms of attacks, because boost nodes only increase the damage for offensive skills. In other words, if you're playing a Pathfinder, think about which skills do I use the most, whether it be in mobbing or bossing, just like think about it, and then formulate your trios from there. Some classes may use 10 different skills on a day-to-day basis, and other classes may only use like 2. So it's mostly dependent on the class you're playing. Some classes have it a little easier because they only need to get a couple of perfect trios, and other classes they might need to get a bunch of perfect trios. Even if you do not have a perfect trio available, if you can get, let's say, 2 out of 3, that's also very good. For example, I have a couple of these. I have like the Blade Fury, Phantom Blow, Osseous Anger node, but if you get something like, let's say, Blade Fury and Osseous Anger, that's also pretty good too, because even though Blade Clone isn't used too much, you still use Blade Fury a lot, and you still use Osseous Anger quite a bit. Okay, I think I covered everything there is to cover about boost nodes. Oh, also, in case you guys are wondering what these are nodes for a different class. If you play an Explorer and Open Job Advance, you're not allowed to use the nodes for the previous class that you were using and then put them over into the current class you're playing. So just a warning, if you do ever do an Open Job Advance as an Explorer, you will have to get nodes all over again for the class that you're playing, at least boost nodes. You can still keep things like the skill nodes, but the specific skill nodes such as, let's say, Blade Tornado, Blade Tempest, and Blades of Destiny, you don't get that on, let's say if you were to switch to a Night Lord, you would have to switch to things like Spread Throw, Shuriken, and Dark Lord's Omen. That makes sense. Last category are special nodes. Special nodes are purple, and they are expiring nodes that grant you specific properties whenever you're just like, playing the game. A couple examples would be, let's say, Rune Blessed, where after using a rune, you get invincibility for 10 seconds, and it activates once every 10 seconds. You have things like Boss Slayer 3, which gives you 50% boss damage for 10 seconds when 30 enemies are defeated. There's a cooldown, and then there are a few contingencies to it. Special nodes expire after a period of time, so you can't have them forever. These will expire on the 28th of July, I believe, which means you want to either go ahead and use them as quickly as you can, or alternatively you can disenchant, which I will show you in just a minute. Special nodes, they give you the most node shards out of any node in the game, so if you get these, consider yourself lucky whether you will or won't use them because they can disenchant for quite a bit. Last thing I want to cover before we get into just the node crafting and stuff like that, and we'll end off the rest of the video. Every level you get on your character, you grant a matrix point. A matrix point can be used on a node slot that increases the level of whatever node is on that slot by 1 level, up to a total of 5 per slot. So as you can see right here, I have a level 23 boost node for Blade Ascension, Blade Fury, and Phantom Blow, but because the slot is enhanced 5 times with 5 matrix points, the level goes to 28. This allows you to get your skills above level 50 because normally the level cap for a boost node is level 50. As you can see right here, it says master level 50, but I have a level 60 Phantom Blow boost. That allows you to get up to level 60, which is the hard cap. Level 50 is the soft cap. The same applies for things like attacking skills. For instance, Blade Tempest and Blades of Destiny and Blade Tornado. Attacking skills for the V Matrix only go up to level 25. But matrix points can take you all the way up to level 30, which is significant because fit job skills have very high damage scaling. As you can see right here, each point gives you 24% more damage for Blades of Destiny, or for, at least in my case, Blade Tempest gives you 23 points, Blade Tornado can give you another 23 or 24 points. So the scaling is very good, especially for those who have skills that have, let's say, 3000% damage scaling and things like that. So you want to go ahead and try to get up as many matrix points as possible. Once again, you get 1 per level. So since I'm level 250, I have 50 matrix points that I can spend, so I can go ahead and enhance my skills. Some people ask me what are more important to target for, if you're, let's say, only level 210, 220, or 230, which one do you want to prioritize first, the boost nodes or the skill nodes? I personally recommend you go after the boost nodes first, because those are more important since you use your regular skills more frequently than your fit job skills. But once you do, then you want to go after the fit job skills. Things like decent skills, you don't need to give slot enhancements because the difference between each one is only, let's say, a couple more seconds of duration. Just focus on your fit job skills that actually are active, such as buffs or attacks, and then boost nodes, of course. Okay, the video is getting a little long. I'll try to wrap it up quickly. I'm sorry for taking so much time to explain everything. I could explain this a bit more concisely if I had a script, but I want to keep it a little live chat for you guys. Let's talk about how the V Matrix works from the Node Master. So going to the Node Master allows you to do things like disassemble your nodes, to craft new nodes, and to also enhance your nodes. I'll start off by explaining how to actually enhance a node. In order to enhance a node, you need to have multiple copies of the same one. Take, for example, we'll just do like a quick sample. The Bandit / node, by right-clicking on it, you can enhance or disassemble. By enhancing, you can combine multiple nodes of the original base type. So you don't have to have the exact same trio in order to enhance it. You just need the base. So since we got Bandit / here at the very top and Bandit / here at the very top, we can merge them together and it shows you the experience that you would get from that node. The max level, of course, like I said before, with each individual node is level 25, and the higher you go, the more nodes you're going to need. It does not cost anything to enhance your nodes, you just need to have copies of the same node. So let's just take /storm for example. If I go ahead and combine those two together, you'll see the rank will go up. And there you go. So that's how you enhance your nodes. You can get more nodes either just by getting a whole bunch of node stones, or you can make nodes just by node crafting. The skill nodes take a lot of node shards to craft, let's say it says 140. The boost nodes don't take too much, about 70. However, you can also craft special nodes. They do cost quite a bit though. The boost nodes, they come with their base specific skill, and then let's say if you go ahead and craft one of them, it'll then provide you the other. Ooh, this is a perfect trio, look at that. Then they will provide you the other two skills that come with it, so it is completely random. Now, disassembling nodes provide you node shards, which you can then use to either craft node stones, which are tradable node stones, or you can craft personal nodes. So I'll show you right now. I'm going to go ahead and disassemble. You can either disassemble a singular node stone by right-clicking it, or click disassemble nodes to click a whole bunch of them. So I'm going to go ahead and take apart all the useless ones that I don't need. I don't need these because I have the decent skills from the equipment. Don't need all of the Erda. Let's go ahead and take away things like we don't need /storm, banish / tornado spins, take that all away. Because I'm doing a bit of inventory cleanup while I'm doing this. The V-Matrix is a very long-term process. It's not something that you want to complete in a single day. You could in the regular service if you just buy a whole bunch of nodes, but over time, it's mostly just collecting nodes, farming nodes every time you get them, and then using them as much as possible. Things like events and just training, they give you quite a bit. And then just click disassemble. Also double check to make sure you're not disassembling a node that you want to keep, the ones that are highlighted over here. Then just click disassemble, and then it'll tell you how many nodes you're disenchanting and then the node charts you're going to get. Depending on how many you disenchant, it's kind of a laggy process, and with special nodes, what a lot of people like to do is they will use the special node, but then right before it's about to expire, they unequip it, and then they go ahead and just disenchant them, so you can kill two birds with one stone, or at least you get like a little bit of something back. Alright, there we go. Now, let me go over node crafting really quickly. So ordinarily, all the node stones that you pick up are transferable only with an account. In other words, you can only give it to yourself in storage. However, you see sometimes people are selling node stones in the main servers in auction house. To get them, you just have to craft a node stone. It'll cost you 35 node shards. By crafting a node stone, the node stone will now be tradable. So you can go ahead and sell that, you can drop it, you can do anything you want with it. Now let's see, did I forget anything? I think that's everything. Oh, well, I guess I could talk about one more thing. If you want to know which nodes to prioritize over, I did talk about how which nodes did you want to enhance first, or which node slots in the V-Matrix, and I told you to go after the boost nodes. The same applies for which ones you want to enhance first. Naturally, if you open a whole bunch of nodes and you get, let's say, a couple nodes for your skills and a couple nodes for your boost, then you can do that. But if you're trying really quickly to level up all of your nodes by node crafting and things like that, I would actually recommend you craft your skill nodes, because these are much harder to come by than boost nodes. Boost nodes, if you open a bunch of node stones, you will get boost nodes most of the time. However, skill nodes, they will not come as frequently, which is why you want to go ahead and target those first, because when you're crafting, you can choose which node you want to make, and that way you can go ahead and level up your skill nodes much more easily. Alright, I think that's everything. If I missed something, let me know in the comment section below. I'm pretty sure I got everything though, but once again, if you want more resources on how to use the actual V-Matrix, or if you want to learn more about it, there will be guides and links in the description below for you to reference. But that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do apologize for the sort of rambly, lengthy video, but I just wanted to make a more unscripted guide for the first time in a while. Hope you enjoyed though, and I will go ahead and see you guys again soon in the next video. Take care.